January 12, 2020, a cold Sunday afternoon in Kansas City. The kind of sharp, biting Midwest chill that makes every exhale look like smoke in the air. Arrowhead Stadium, usually a wall of unbroken noise, felt almost stunned. The scoreboard glowed in massive, unmissable numbers. Houston Texans 24, Kansas City Chiefs 0. Red-clad fans huddled under blankets, shaking their heads in disbelief. Some clutched hot chocolate that had long gone cold. Others zipped up their coats and made the slow walk toward the exits, thinking there was nothing left worth watching. The commentators in the broadcast booth lowered their voices, speaking with the caution of men delivering bad news. This wasn't how a playoff game was supposed to go. And yet, down on the sideline, Patrick Mahomes stood still, helmet in hand, eyes locked on the field, not with panic, but with a look that said he saw something no one else did. The disaster had struck fast and hard. First, a blocked punt returned for a touchdown, the kind of fluke play that sucks the air out of a stadium. Then a busted coverage that left the Texans receiver alone in the end zone. Before Kansas City could regroup, another gut punch, a fumble deep in their own territory. Each mistake felt heavier than the last, the weight pressing down on players and fans alike. In the first 17 minutes of the game, Houston had built a 24-point mountain. The Chiefs weren't just trailing, they were buried. The noise of Arrowhead, the proudest, loudest home field advantage in football, was now a faint murmur. Some fans muttered, "It's over." Others just stared at the field, motionless. The Texans smelled blood and carried themselves like they'd already booked their ticket to the AFC Championship. But that's the thing about Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't read from the same script as everyone else. Before we go further, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss more incredible stories like this one. And if you're enjoying the drama so far, share this video with a fellow football fan who loves a good comeback story. On the Chiefs sideline, Mahomes never let the cold or the scoreboard touch him. He wasn't pacing or throwing his helmet. Instead, he walked calmly from player to player, tapping shoulder pads, clapping hands, making eye contact that seemed to say, "We're still here." Then he gathered the offense. No long emotional speech, just 6 words. "Let's go do something special." He didn't shout them. He spoke them, like a promise sealed in stone. That was the moment the atmosphere began to change. Not in the stands, not yet, but among the men in red on that sideline, the seed of a comeback had been planted. The next possession was like watching a spark catch fire. Mahomes opened with crisp passes, moving the chains methodically. He rolled right, spotted Damian Williams breaking free, and fired a bullet. Williams caught it in stride and dashed into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. The eruption from the crowd wasn't about victory yet. It was about hope. The defense, feeding off the energy, came alive and forced a stop. The stadium leaned forward as Mahomes took the field again. This time, he found Travis Kelce cutting across the middle. Kelce caught it, shrugged off a tackler, and crossed the goal line. The noise was deafening. But Mahomes wasn't done. Just minutes later, after another defensive stand, he led another drive, another touchdown. 3 scores in just over 3 minutes. Suddenly, the scoreboard read 24-21, and the Texans looked rattled for the first time all afternoon. If you're feeling that rush, go ahead and like this video. It helps us bring you more epic sports moments, and it lets YouTube know you love stories where the impossible becomes reality. And hey, drop a comment telling us where you were when this game happened. We'd love to know. The Texans tried to slow the game down to catch their breath, but the Chiefs weren't giving them time. Still in the second quarter, Mahomes got the ball again. His throws were precise, his reads perfect. He hit Tyreek Hill on a slant, Kelce on a seam, and Williams on a screen that nearly broke free. Every snap chipped away at Houston's defense, draining their confidence. Then, deep in the red zone, Mahomes dropped back, waited for the coverage to break, and fired a dart into the end zone. Touchdown, 4 in a row. The unthinkable had happened. The Chiefs were now leading 28-24 before halftime. The transformation was total. Minutes earlier, Arrowhead had been a graveyard of lost hope. Now it was an inferno. Fans were screaming, stomping, waving rally towels like weapons. Those who had left early were now trying to get back inside. The Texans, once brimming with swagger, now looked like a team that had been hit by a tidal wave. The second half began. But for Kansas City, it wasn't about protecting a lead. It was about sending a message. Mahomes came out with the same intensity, firing strikes to his receivers. Tyreek Hill streaked past defenders like they were standing still. Sammy Watkins hauled in a sideline grab that brought the crowd to its feet. Kels kept finding space, his hands like glue. Houston's defense looked exhausted, out of breath, out of ideas. Mahomes threw his fourth touchdown, then his fifth. Now, every snap felt inevitable. The Texans would punt, and the Chiefs would score. Over and over, the cycle repeated. Mahomes was operating at a level where every decision seemed flawless. The Texans tried pressure. He escaped. They tried. Tight coverage. He threaded the needle. The ball left his hand and seemed magnetically drawn to his receiver's dot by the fourth quarter. The scoreboard told a story few would have believed just an hour earlier. Kansas City 51, Houston 31. What had started as a disaster had become one of the most devastating offensive performances in playoff history. 51 unanswered points. Mahomes finished with 321 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers. The Texans never found their footing again. When the final whistle blew, Mahomes didn't bask in the glory. He removed his helmet, shook hands with his opponents, and jogged toward the tunnel. In the post-game interview, he spoke about trust in his teammates, in the system, in the preparation they put in all season. He talked about playing one snap at a time, never looking at the scoreboard until the clock hit 0. Humble words.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't start the way we wanted to, but all we were preaching, offense, defense, special team, is let's do something special. Everybody's already counting us out. Let's keep fighting and just go one play at a time, and we found a way. And we obviously, this is a huge win, and now we get the AFC Championship game at home.
You talk about doing something special. How special today was Travis Kelce and fighting through that hamstring injury as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. That's what first thing I said to him on that sideline there at the end. I was like, man, I mean, you're a monster, man. Now you are. I mean, the way he was fighting through injury and still making plays all day long. They were kind of going over the top of Tyreek and kind of getting that double, and he just took the opportunity to make plays. And he's a special football player, and we're going to try to get that thing right for this next game.
Well, you talk about that next game, and you said you thought about it all season long, not lost in the AFC Championship game. What's it going to take next week against a really tough Titans team?
Yeah, we already played them. We know that they're a tough team. They're a team that battles all the way till the end. They're a team that's really hot, playing really good football right now. And so we know it's going to take our best effort, and whatever way, we got to find a way to win. And I mean, I think that's the biggest thing you saw here today was we just got to find a way no matter what.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
But anyone who watched knew the truth. They had just witnessed one of the greatest comebacks in NFL playoff history. This wasn't just about numbers. It wasn't just about erasing a 24-point deficit. It was about belief, unshakable, stubborn, and relentless. It was about a leader who looked at an impossible situation and refused to accept it. It was about a stadium that went from silence to a roar that could be heard across the Midwest. And most of all, it was about the reminder that in football, as in life, it's never over until it's over. And that cold January afternoon, Patrick Mahomes didn't just win a game. He turned it into legend.